This podcast is a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to find out more.
Everything I say is a lie. Except that. And 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 that.
20th century boy. Show your move. Good news, everyone. Don't you diggy when you see onions?
Welcome to 20th Century Boy. My name is Pope Mike Addict the 16th, and this is the inside of my mind. Welcome back to the pod. Of course, every week I do a different name, Pope Mike Addict the 16th, after Pope Benedict the 16th, who is no longer the Pope, I don't think. Actually, I think there's been like 2 more popes since him. Anyway, admittedly, this podcast isn't about discussing the current or former popes. It is about me, though, Radio Mike, writer and producer from here in Australia, just, making his way through life, doing stuff. And it's sort of like a weekly blog of my life, what I've been up to, what I've been doing. It's a one-sided conversation, and it's the conversations you wish you were having about the stuff that no one else cares about. That's the general vibe of this podcast and what it's all about. Screw all the professional corporate podcasts that are just slick and trying to make money off you. This one's just, it's just a catch-up between you and me. It's just 2 mates hanging out, or 3 if you're listening with 2 people. I don't know. You can contribute to the show anytime, by the way, radiomikepod@gmail.com, or just message me on Instagram at radio.mike. Plenty of ways to contribute with the show. I did, and again, you guys build the show. You guys help me craft the content each week, so, the more you write in, the better. Did wanted to just apologize for last week. Of course, I just said that this podcast, and I said this last week, this podcast is like the antithesis to all the corporate podcasts out there. They're slick, professional, clean, tidy, very pro sounding. This podcast, not slick, slightly unprofessional, not clean. Mistakes are made quite regularly, including last week when I was really short on time and I uploaded the podcast, but instead of uploading like the final mixed version of the podcast, I instead accidentally uploaded the raw audio of the podcast, which did feature me starting the podcast, then making a mistake, audibly saying fuck, and then 30 seconds of silence while I started again. Now, then I started again and talked about how this is an unprofessional podcast. So a few people thought it was like a really meta joke, but it wasn't. It was just me forgetting to cut that out, uploading the wrong piece of audio, and, away we go. So I had to take it down. But if you did get that, my apologies. There were a few like retakes and just stupid things that I did in that version of the audio, and it was pretty embarrassing for me. So I tried to take it down as quickly as possible. Doing a lot of thinking still about the content that I make moving forward, because the YouTube is growing a lot. Would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Radio Mike, where full videos of this pod go, but also clips from this podcast go. Would really love to see a bunch of you subscribe to that. We're nearly, I think we're on 3,500 subscribers, and, would love to hit 10,000. That would be a great goal. And wondering, and it's all sort of a work in progress, but wondering if, the podcast is more, just more conversational about my life, and then all the sort of pop culture takes and whatnot live on YouTube. But, it's all just going to be over time change, if it does change at all. Of course, 2 things at the moment. It's been the comedy festival here in Melbourne, and I haven't been to nearly as many shows as I would like to have been to. I did see Sam Garlep, friend of the show. I saw his show twice. Great show. It's finished now, so I can't promote it any further. And then I saw friend of the show, Ferg Neal's show on opening night. Also fun. I saw Mike Goldstein's show. Great show. And then Paul Foote, a British comedian who's really wacky and absurd, and that was fun as well. So I've been to a few fun shows, but usually, I just haven't had time. I'm hoping to go to a few more for the next few weeks, because there's, so many great shows, and I've got a festival pass this year because I'm a producer, I guess, on Sam's show, or at least that's what he listed me as, so I can get into the shows for free. The other thing is it was just the Easter long weekend. Easter's a funny one. It's sort of like the forgotten cousin of Christmas, the underwhelming cousin of Christmas, but in many ways it's, it tries to make a big deal of itself, by having the whole Good Friday, Easter Sunday, Easter Monday, and the whole, is it Holy Thursday or whatever, Palm Sunday, Lent, Easter really, I feel like Easter knows it's no good. And it's like, we got to make a bigger deal. We got to get the marketing out there. We got to, 12 days of Christmas. Let's have the 12 days of Easter and the 40 days of Lent. Easter, never really feels as big as Christmas. Just feels like a few days off. I mean, Christmas obviously was when Jesus was born, according to the Catholic tradition, and then Easter is when he was murdered and then supposedly resurrected. Questions have been asked about the veracity of that, but that's this. We're neither here nor there on this podcast, so we don't go into the science of Jesus's resurrection. But Easter. I mean, really. I mean, it's great to have the public holidays here. You get the Friday off, you get the Monday off, long weekend, great fun, but you really, you don't really even feel like you're celebrating anything. You give chocolate. Everyone just binges on chocolate for a while. I don't know. It was fun. I had a nice long weekend. Had a few family-based events and got to hang out with baby cousins and whatnot, which is always fun. So, maybe Easter's not all that bad. Now, last week on the show, I did announce that we'd be going on an adventure this week. I would be returning to my high school to audition for the senior vocal ensemble. Little bit of backstory. Last year on the Hamish and Andy podcast, they talked about this. I auditioned for the senior vocal ensemble at my school with the song Give Me Novocaine by Green Day from their album American Idiot. And that's really funny. Had a half choir scholarship to my school for singing, and in year 11 I had to audition for the senior vocal ensemble. Got reached out to by the current head of choir at my old high school, who said, hey, you should come in and re-audition, see if you're still up to scratch. Decided to take him up on it, and we do want to do more adventures on this show, right? And this was like the first of many. Went back to school, brought producer Pat along. He also was going to audition because he never had the chance to at school, and recorded the whole thing. So here's how it went when I went back to my high school to re-audition for my school choir. All right, I'm here with producer Pat and Mr. Jukic, Sava Jukic, the head of choir at St. Kevin's College. Sava, or Mr. Jukic, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I'm here today to re-audition for the St. Kevin's Senior Vocal Ensemble.
Yeah, and we are hopefully going to be able to offer you a spot. But who knows? Let's just see what happens today.
Can you give us an idea of, without, naming any students, but what's the talent like in the current SVE? What are we talking?
Yeah, so the current talent is very high. We are singing in 4 to 6 part harmony, so I do expect a lot from the students.
Yep.
I would say singing in tune would be a basic expectation.
Yeah.
From there, just a nice stance, good projection, an ability to sight read, to get through material quickly is certainly something that I expect.
We were talking before about the alumni of the senior vocal ensemble. I mean, James Emerson, opera singer now, as well as Nick Dinopoulos, opera singer as well. Do you expect that anyone in the senior vocal ensemble would be able to go on and perform opera at a professional level?
Do I expect it?
Or do you think that they could?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the training that they have at school and the training that they receive with their half scholarship, I think absolutely. I mean, if they enjoy their singing, they should certainly go on to go, see what they can audition for, see what's out there when they finish school.
Yeah.
And they certainly are equipped with the tools to be able to get there, I think. Yeah.
Who do you reckon's your best singer in the senior vocal ensemble at the moment,
Do I have to name names?
if you want.
Oh, look, I don't want to give away too much in case they do hear.
Yeah.
But
Don't worry, no one's going to listen to this.
no, I'll be sending it out to people. So no,
Okay,
I'm sure they
okay.
will. No, there's obviously the melody is carried in sort of a tenor 2 part. It's not usually a bass 1 or a bass 2 that gets the melody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got some strong ones in tenor 2.
Yeah,
So,
well, because when I was in the SVE, there was this great singer, Matthew Shittest, legendary guy, got the solo in Somebody to Love, Queen, arranged by Daryl Barclay, your predecessor. Can I say, love you, Matthew Shittest, if you are listening, you're probably not. But that bit in the song where Freddie Mercury goes, where it's like, can anybody find me? And then there's that bit at the end where it's like, somebody to love. At our performance at St. Kevin's Open Day, Matthew Shittest butchered it, right? I remember it because I was like, I should be doing that solo. So, you know, are there any Matthew Shistests in your vocal ensemble?
no, well, there's certainly not any Matthew Sis in terms of stuffing it up at the at crunch time. But
Sorry, Matthew Shittest.
no, but I mean that's the thing. I would certainly pick someone for a solo if I knew they could do it. And
Yeah.
I would like to think that I've trained them enough so that when we get to high pressure situations like a solo
Yeah.
at a public performance, that nothing less than 100% is what is coming out.
Yeah, great.
So, do we have anyone in that category? No.
Good. Okay, I'm glad to hear it. What do you think you will be looking at that might be different from my original audition back in 2010?
Yeah, okay. So there's several things that I look at.
Yeah.
Although I'm not marking you against the criteria sheet, I'm certainly looking for things like, can he sing in tune?
Yep.
Can he show me some performance aspect to what he has? Is there any sort of characterization or charisma that he can bring to his song?
I think we call it pizzazz.
Yeah,
Bit
absolutely.
Of
A bit of pizzazz,
Okay.
yes. Does he have a sense of musicality? Is there anything that he can do that's a bit different, that's maybe outside the music? I don't want my students to feel like they're slaves to the dots on the page. I don't want them to be
Gotcha.
shackled to
Yeah.
what I give them. I want them to break free a little bit and give me a bit extra.
Before we get into my audition, what kind of songs did your current batch of kids in the ensemble audition with? Because we got to choose whatever song we wanted. And that's what led me to the classic Green Day's American Idiot album, the song "Give Me Novocaine." What are your guys auditioning with?
They have to sing a school song.
Ah,
Yeah, so it's quite mellow. However, I then give them an unseen piece of music, which you're going to see today.
okay.
And I teach them a part or two,
Yep.
and teach them how to sing in harmony.
Yep.
And then I expect them to deliver that. So
Okay.
the reason I do that is because I need to see how quickly they can pick up material. Anyone can sing a song that they know very, very well.
Yeah.
I want to put a bit of pressure on here.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. And are you familiar with the song "Give Me Novocaine"?
I do. Look, I've seen Green Day live 4
Great.
times.
Great.
I'm probably the biggest Green Day fan that you know.
Great. Okay, well, let's get into my audition.
Fantastic. Let's
Cool.
go.
Nervous but ready to prove myself worthy of the senior vocal ensemble, I stood at the front of the music classroom and got ready for my audition.
Hi, my name is Mike Liberali, and I will be auditioning for the senior vocal ensemble. My audition song is "Give Me Novocaine" by Green Day. I'd like to begin now.
And in this moment, I realised the song had a really long instrumental opening, and the first 30 seconds would probably just be me standing there. That's why I decided to add some pizzazz by explaining everything that was going on.
It's a bit of a run-up, so we just this isn't the start. I'm just talking through the audition, and I'll be starting soon. We have about 4 bars of acoustic guitar, and then we get onto the vocals. Here we go. Take away the sensation inside. Bittersweet migraine in my head. This is more intimidating than I thought it'd be.
You're right, Mike. It was intimidating, but I was ready to give it my all. But as the song contains several moments without any singing as well as an extended guitar solo, I realised that not only had I probably chosen a bad song, but also that pizzazz was going to be the thing that got me through. So let's skip forward some of the best moments of the audition. I nailed the first chorus.
Give me a kiss goodnight and everything will be alright. Tell me that I won't feel a thing. So give me Novocaine. In verse 2, nerves took over me and I forgot some of the words, but I added pizzazz by announcing that I forgot the words. Like a funny feeling, that's alright. Forgot the words, who hasn't? I can't take this feeling anymore. I then realised we were coming up to the extended guitar solo and didn't really know what to do. So I announced the guitar solo and proceeded to do air guitar. Pizzazz. It is a guitar solo here, but we will come back for the final chorus. And preparing for the great final chorus, I counted myself in. Incorrectly, but I still counted myself in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Drain the pressure from the swelling. And I finished the song, proud of the pizzazz and musicality I had provided. So give me Novocaine. I retook my seat to sit opposite Mr. Jukic and hear the verdict on my performance. All right, I've just finished my audition. What did you think?
I thought it was interesting that you didn't give yourself a chance to have a break. You'd sing something and you go, just going to talk about what I've just done and introduce the next line that I'm about to sing. No, you do need to give the music space in between, but you need to give yourself some space to go, what am I going to do next? As opposed to singing something and then talking really, really quickly to get in whatever you need to say before you then sing the next line. I think it's a sign of a good musician who can sing something, break character, say something else, and then bring the focus back on themselves. You held the room. You held the room. It was a hybrid accent. It was a blended accent of American and Australian. Do you know the band Frenzal Rhomb?
I do. They are an Australian punk band from like the same era as Green Day that do sound a lot like Green Day.
I think with Frenzal Rhomb they have a very iconic sound because they are Australian, whereas Green Day have that American, that, you know, West Coast kind of sound. So I think Green Day would go, so give me Novocaine. But what you did was, so give me Novocaine.
Yeah, but that you said you didn't want people to be bound by the music, so I was just putting my own spin on it.
Yeah, so this is my next point, is that I like that you brought your own style to the song.
Yeah.
You know, is it how I would have done it? Maybe not. But I mean, when I sing Green Day, I certainly try to sound as much like Billy Joe as possible. But maybe that's a bit too simple. Perhaps what you've shown us is how it should be done. There was the guitar break. I found it interesting that you did a count-in to get out of the break into your singing again, but your count-in was too fast. And then you started singing when you were supposed to start singing, but you're ahead of the beat. And I thought, well done you for recovering where you needed to get to. So that was good.
Have any of your other students done air guitar in their auditions?
You are the first.
And is that a good or bad thing, do you think?
Oh, yeah, again, I kind of like it. I would rather have air guitar than not have air guitar. So, yeah, more air guitar solos in whatever song it is. Absolutely. It's still TBC for now.
Is that totally boy in choir?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's I think I need to see a bit more. But absolutely, I've kind of got like a half tick started, but it's not a full tick yet. So we're so close.
So it's just a line.
Yeah, it's just a line.
All right, well, let's do the next phase of the audition.
Absolutely.
To hear the rest of the audition, head to patreon.com/radiomike for the entire, almost hour-long audition, uncut. Here's a sneak peek of what happened after the first song. We started with a range check to see how high and how low I could sing.
How high can you go?
Then Mr. Jukic put me to the test by getting me to sight read a song and sing along with him. But I was slightly disappointed by the song choice.
We're going to learn this song.
I really hope it's Party Rock Anthem. Is it Party Rock Anthem?
This is In the Still of the Night.
Oh, that's like the opposite of Party Rock Anthem.
Yeah, but I want to know what you've got. Should-up, shoo-be-doo, should-up, shoo-be-doo, should-up, shoo-be-doo, should-up, shoo-be-wah.
And after nearly 45 minutes of hardcore auditioning, we finally made it to the big question. If I was currently a student enrolled at St. Kevin's College, would I get into the vocal ensemble?
I would say
Sign up for a month, patreon.com/Radio Mike to hear the rest. Oh, and producer Pat auditioned too, so you get to hear that, which I guess is also fun.
Every time I shake your hand now, wanna stick your fingers in my mouth.
That's patreon.com/Radio Mike. See you there. Now, let's get back to the show. There you go. As I said, get the rest on Patreon, as well as the Pat and Mike show every Friday, a bonus podcast with me and producer Pat. Keelan from the Luke and Lewis show joined us last week. Get on the Patreon, guys. It is all happening. Jump on at the $4.50 tier a month for the Pat and Mike show bonus. And yeah, it really helps support us. This is an independent podcast. All of this is done, independently. We don't have any external help. So if you can be that help, if you can spare $4 a month, jump on. We'd really love to have you. Off the back of that, a couple little news things I wanted to talk about this week that I saw that were really interesting. The first one I saw this week, and when I wake up, I have this old clock radio alarm that I got when I was 16 as a present. And it literally, it's so old, it has a dock for your iPod. For those who remember, you used to dock your iPod into stuff. And it's clock radio, so 7 a.m. every morning it goes off and starts playing the radio. Currently listening to Nova, because my friend Belle does a breakfast radio show here in Melbourne with Ben and Liam. So, listen to that every morning when I wake up. And this morning, usually when the alarm goes off, it's in the middle of the news. And I heard this remarkable news story that I simply I actually caught myself. I thought I might have still been dreaming because of the absurdity of what I was hearing. I genuinely couldn't, I was this, I'm definitely in a dream. I am still in a dream because this is not a thing. And the news story was that the Dalai Lama has apologized for kissing a boy on the lips and asking him to suck his tongue. I'll say it again. The Dalai Lama has apologized for kissing a boy on the lips and asking him to suck his tongue. Captured on video. So not even one you can deny. And I genuinely was what? That is the most outlandish thing that possibly could have happened from the Dalai Lama, of course, the head of the Buddhist church, and realizing the more I go on, the creepier I find powerful religious figures. It's just, there's something about them. They've always got some creepy thing going on, right? And it's just so remarkable how almost blasé this all is. From the official Dalai Lama Twitter account, they've done a post, and obviously I guess he's old, so he doesn't manage it himself. Someone else, a PR person, manages it for him. This is the statement they've put out. This is real. This is from the Dalai Lama's official Twitter account for something that I would consider is criminal. You cannot do that. I'm sorry, Dalai Lama, but you cannot do that. Here's the statement. A video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. Those words being, suck my tongue, which is just disgusting. It goes on. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before cameras. He regrets the incident. So, and it just, the absurdity of this again, because just try to imagine, I don't know, I feel like the outrage isn't big enough. This creepy old man who asked a boy to suck his tongue is just he's just they put a statement out that's just like, yeah, he was just teasing. Like, that's just what he does. He just teases. No, Mr. Lama. That's not how we as adults behave, especially towards children. That's the creepiest thing I've ever heard. And because it's captured on camera, again, like, there is camera footage of them kissing on the lips, which is disgusting. But because it's captured on camera, they can't deny it. So instead they're like, all right, well, what do we say? He's just playfully and innocently teasing this kid. What? Teasing is like, what, sexual teasing or like mocking? Like, no, I don't understand it. It is genuinely like, I realize that, like, if you are a powerful religious figure, you just God, I can't even speak. The more powerful and wealthy and you are, the more protected you are. That's what I think I'm realizing about the world, is like, wealth equals power, fame equals power, and like the Dalai Lama is just so protected. You know, he can do stuff like this, and like, should there be a criminal investigation here? I think so. Will there be? No. Is he going to just get away? Like, aside from the court of public opinion, which is like everyone seeing it being like, that's gross, what the hell? He kind of just like, it just kind of goes, all right, well, that's it. Imagine how traumatized that kid must be. He's going to live with this and grow up with it and be like, yeah, that was fucking weird. Guarantee you, 20 years' time, there's going to be a tell-all from that kid being like, the Dalai Lama asked me to suck his tongue. I always thought Buddhism was one of the good ones when it came to religion, but now I'm not so sure. I mean, the Catholics, they had their way with kids. It wasn't pretty. Thought Buddhism might have been a bit more zen, bit too zen for that. But, you know, if he's doing that in public, in front of cameras, what else? Like, what else is he doing? What else would he be prepared to do? It's just like, it all creeps me out. It is super weird, and it was one of the weirdest stories I heard all week. But it wasn't the shittest story I heard all week. And if you are a long-term listener of the show, you will know that, particularly in the first season of the show, we used to do this segment. It was called the shittest thing that I've seen all week, where anything I saw that I thought was shit, I would talk about it. And we've only brought it back, I think we've brought it back already this year. But it's been, since season 1, it's only appeared maybe 3 or 4 times. Well, here's number 5. Because, guys, I want to do one of these. Saw something really shit. Saw something terrible over the weekend. Last week, straight after the choir audition, actually, producer Pat and I went to a special screening of the Super Mario Brothers movie at Melbourne Central. It was really fun, actually. They had a whole bunch of stuff set up. They had like warp pipes and posters and a Mario Kart, like a Mario Kart you could sit in. Photos on my Instagram at radio.mike. And it was a really fun night. The movie was great. My review is up on YouTube. Go and watch that. But, as I say in my review, lots of mixed critical reception. Lots of really mixed critical reception. And I talk about that in the review. Generally, I think like a lot of these people don't have the foundational knowledge of the video game franchise to appreciate it on the level that so many fans are appreciating it. But I've been looking into a lot of the reviews for the movie, some of the negative ones, because I just want to see if they're actually like well written or well justified or not. And most of them actually aren't, like genuinely. And I'm actually going to do a YouTube video that might be up by the time this is out, just looking at all the negative reviews for the Mario Bros movie and just talking about them and why I think they're stupid. But this one definitely takes the cake, because this was the worst thing I saw all week online. Review came in from CTV News. No idea. Not even going to justify looking up who they are. Maybe Canada TV. I don't know. CTV News. And their byline, or their like heading, I guess, for the review it's ridiculous. It's actually like the fact that we live in a world where journalism has sunk to this level is embarrassing, because The heading of the review reads, "The Super Mario Brothers movie has all the charm of an unplugged Game Boy." The Super Mario Brothers movie has all the charm of an unplugged Game Boy. Now, I'm sure you already know what is so ridiculous about this, but just to clear it up for you, the classic handheld Nintendo console, the Game Boy, does not in fact get plugged in at any point. It is run off 2 AA batteries. Well, that's what they are in Australia. I don't know if AA is like a worldwide size guide, but yes, Game Boys are run off 2 AA batteries. So by actually writing this and publishing it, to me, it instantly just undermines this entire network of whatever CTV is. It totally undermines you. The Super Mario Brothers movie has all the charm of an unplugged Game Boy. Well, Game Boys are always unplugged. Therefore, this review is actually saying that the movie has a lot of charm and is very fun. That's the only way that I can interpret it. But just think about this for a second. Like, some lame non-gamer who has like never played video games, who's probably like some mid-40s or 50s man or woman, goes to see this movie, hates it because of course they do, because they can't relate to it in any way whatsoever, right? And then goes, what's a funny like line I could use? Oh, all the charm of an unplugged Game Boy. Like, the fact that that review alone tells me everything that I need to know. Every single thing that I need to know, I know from that. You don't play games, you know nothing about games, and you couldn't possibly appreciate this movie because you don't play games. Congratulations, CTV News. That is the shittest thing that I've seen all week. A couple more things this week. I've been leaving this one for a while, but again, long-time listeners of the show will know. Get excited, guys, because we have a best friend on this show. There is one listener who is the best friend of the of the podcast radio show. He's the best friend of the podcast. In season 1 of the podcast, all those years ago, he used to every week leave a weekly voicemail on this show that was just full of positive cheer. Now, that has decreased and we haven't got a voicemail from him recently, but luckily, and to my surprise, a couple of weeks ago, I get a voicemail. And, well, it's from this guy.
Yeah, g'day everyone, it's Radio Nacho Cheese here. G'day Radio Mike, it's Radio Nacho Cheese here again. Radio Nacho Cheese here again. Radio Nacho Cheese here.
He's Radio Nacho Cheese and this is his weekly update! Yeah, it's Radio Nacho Cheese, the best friend of the show. We love him. We love him to bits, and it was so good to finally hear his voice again. Just so good he's got such a great, calming, friendly voice, and again, we don't know his true identity. We don't know who Radio Nacho Cheese is. He could be you. We don't know. You know. If you are him, you know. But we don't know. So anyone that I meet that listens to this show could be Radio Nacho Cheese. And so I wanted to play his voicemail just because he sends, again, positive cheer and well wishes to the entire radio family. That is the collective group of listeners of this show. So Radio Nacho Cheese, take it away.
Mikey boy, it's Nacho Cheese here, mate. Hope you're doing well. It's 7:54 p.m. on Tuesday, the 28th of March, I believe. I just wanted to say hello to you and hello to the family. It's been quite some time since I've left a voice message. And just big love for everyone. Also, I hope you're having a big year of big years this year, mate. I know you're doing well. So, yeah. Thank you and love you guys. Bye-bye.
You can't really ask for much more than that from someone. Nacho Cheese, we love you. Please send in another one soon. Please send in anything, anytime. We do love you very much. Quick one of these. All the write-ins that you sent in. Got a message in from Radio Discover Hip Hop. I assume this is not a personal page of yours. Like, I assume you have your own page, but this is like a business page of yours, follows 2 accounts, follows me and Saint Lane, musician/band. Don't know who this is, but sent this great message. First of all, they sent, "Keep your head up, Mike. You're an inspiration to many. Hashtag Pat wears slacks," which is funny. But then he also said, he or she, sorry, or they, "When are we getting Mike's big year of hip hop? I've been waiting since I pulled my pants up in 2019. Deep cut reference to my band, Release the Sounds, and the song we had called Pants Up, which was a hip hop song. Mike's big year of hip hop though, and like, I mean, my experience with hip hop is sort of limited to like Eminem and then Australian hip hop, like Hilltop Hoods. I mean, they're the main one. I love the Hilltop Hoods. Love a lot of their songs. Maybe 2024, Mike's big year of hip hop, if people want it. Why don't you, just Radio Discover Hip Hop, recommend me an essential hip hop album? Maybe you should do that. Get that started. But you know, I don't know. Maybe 2024 is Mike's big year of hip hop. I don't know. We're currently in Mike's big year of live music and events, and we're in Mike's bigger year of footy, which you can follow over on the 2 Guys 1 Cup podcast. Last thing though for this week, Pat and I, when we went to do the audition and then went to the Super Mario Brothers movie, we took the train into the city and had a really eventful train ride, which you can hear a lot about on the Pat and Mike show. But one thing that happened was Pat has this weird habit of taking photos of me from like the top, from like almost a bird's eye view. Like he raises his camera up and takes it and I look up. It's really annoying and I hate it. But he did take a photo of me and you can see it on the @TCB Pod Instagram page. I look like Freddo Frog. Look at this photo of me. Go to the TCB Pod Instagram now. In this photo of me, I look like Freddo Frog. It is remarkable, you know, because there are things, I've been told I look like human Shrek from Shrek 2, but there are things in this world that there's sentences you never think you're going to utter. And then one day you're looking at a picture on a train that your friend took of you and you're going, I look like Freddo Frog. And it's uncanny. Go and look at the photo. I'll make this into a clip and put the photo on the screen. I look like Freddo Frog. Why do I look like Freddo Frog? I don't know, but remarkable. It's like it's like Freddo Frog was based on me when you look at this photo. So I wanted to bring that up. All right, here's this. The plug. General plugs, there's a new Owl Post episode of Harry Potter and the Boys. That show's still on break for a few more weeks. And from there, I think I pop up in the Hamish and Andy show over the next couple of weeks. As well as that, 2 Guys 1 Cup for Mike's bigger year of footy. If you want the news and information on that bad boy, lots of fun stuff happening there. Patreon.com/Radio Mike. There'll be a new Pat and Mike show episode, plus the full uncut version of the choir audition, which was a lot of fun. Pat's audition was great. Would love to see you on the Patreon. Please support the show. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. So my name's been Radio Mike. Oh, one more thing. We're going to be launching the new podcast theme music soon. So that's exciting. Definitely look out for that. It might not be next week, maybe the week after. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. My name's been Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind. See you later. This podcast was a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to check out all our other content, stay up to date at radio.mike on Instagram, and get in touch, radiomikepod@gmail.com.